She's the lamestream media's worst nightmare. Karoline Leavitt might be new to the role, but she's already proving to be a powerhouse as Trump's press secretary. In just a short time, she's delivered some of the most hard-hitting responses the press has ever faced. She's been shutting down their narratives with facts, confidence, and a level of composure that is leaving them scrambling. And today we're covering some of her best takedowns that left these reporters speechless. And trust me, you're in for a treat. As always, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos just like this.
When you're up here in this briefing room speaking to the American public, do you view yourself and your role as speaking on, advocating on behalf of the president or providing the unvarnished truth that is, not to lie, not to obfuscate to the American people?
I commit to telling the truth from this podium every single day. I commit to speaking on behalf of the President of the United States. That is my job. And I will say it's very easy to speak truth from this podium when you have a president who is implementing policies that are wildly popular with the American people, and that's exactly what this administration is doing. It's correcting the lies and the wrongs of the past 4 years, many of the lies that have been told to your faces in this very briefing room. I will not do that. But since you brought up TruthSeek, I would like to point out, while I vowed to provide the truth from this podium, we ask that all of you in this room hold yourselves to that same standard. We know for a fact there have been lies that have been pushed by many legacy media outlets in this country about this president, about his family, and we will not accept that. We will call you out when we feel that your reporting is wrong or there is misinformation about this White House. So yes, I will hold myself to the truth, and I expect everyone in this room to do the same.
This was just 10 minutes into her debut briefing as White House press secretary, and you can clearly see that she's not messing around. To give a bit of background, Karoline Leavitt, who is just 27 years old, became the youngest ever press secretary under Trump after she was credited for being an effective communicator for the president's third campaign. She also studied communications and political science at St. Anselm College, which is a Catholic college of her home state of New Hampshire. After graduating, she worked as assistant press secretary for Kayleigh McEnany, describing her role as helping prepare McEnany for high-pressure briefings and fighting against the biased MSM. She even ran for Congress back in 2022, taking down the Rhino nominee, but eventually lost against the Democratic incumbent. Still very impressive.
As we're dealing with anti-DEI, anti-woke efforts, we understand this administration is thinking about celebrating Black History Month. Have you got any word on that? Anything that you can offer to us?
As far as I know, this White House certainly still intends to celebrate, and we will continue to celebrate American history and the contributions that all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, have made to our great country, and America is back.
As the recording of this video, Karoline has held 2 press briefings, and most reporters kept repeating questions about DEI programs like there's no tomorrow. This particular answer reminds me of Morgan Freeman's take where he said, quote, "Black History Month is an insult. You're going to relegate my history to a month?" In another interview, he noted that Black history is American history, so it's refreshing to witness this line of thinking coming back. But her answer wasn't enough for the woke reporters, as they were trying to find new angles to get a gotcha moment from Karoline, but she continued holding her ground.
The president talked a lot yesterday about hiring the best and the brightest to work in the federal government. Safety aside, does he believe that disabled people do have a place to work in the federal government? And does he also support the current protections for disabled people working in the private sector as well?
The president has made it very clear that this is a common sense solution to solving some of the problems that we have seen at the Federal Aviation Administration, and also when it comes to many of the federal agencies across our government. People should not be hired based on their disabilities, based on their skin color, their gender, their race. None of that matters. What matters to this president and this administration is how well you can do your job, and the American people agree with that sentiment. So it's about competence, skill, and merit. And so the president is focused on ensuring that the most competent individuals, the best and the brightest in this country, are in positions in this federal government, especially when it comes to public safety. Can't overemphasize the importance of those jobs.
I'm not going to pull a Philip DeFranco here and jump into conspiracy theories related to the latest 2 airplane incidents, but I have to say what she's saying here is nothing but common sense. But I guess that's too much for the minds of the woke media, and they focus on this victimhood to get ahead in life instead of focusing on personal responsibility and changing one's own circumstances. Disabled or not, if you're qualified for the job, you get to have it. Stephen Hawking was disabled, but that didn't stop him from achieving some of the greatest things humans have ever done. And he was regarded as the greatest theoretical physicist of our time. These types of questions got repeated so much that Karoline decided to put an end to them once and for all.
And I think just to put a fine point on this, because this is the third or fourth question I've answered on this subject, when you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense.
Amen to that. And you know what's ironic? Joy Behar actually had the audacity to claim that Karoline only got the job because she's a, quote, 10 in Trump's book. Mine too. Now, some might call that sexist, but I don't think so. I just think Joy is jealous because she couldn't match Karoline's level of sharpness and articulation, even if she spent a lifetime trying. And she's beautiful. This woman struggles to even get through a sentence without tripping over her own contradictions. Check out some of the videos I've made. They are my favorite there at The View. She even went on Good Morning America and perfectly dismantled the reporter's loaded question in a matter of seconds.
Look, we want people to return to work. We have beautiful federal office buildings here in Washington, D.C. that American taxpayers are paying for. They should be used. That's what the American people deserve.
But is there any concern that we risk losing people with years of experience like doctors and let's say scientists?
Well, most doctors who work in actual hospitals and medical institutions have to show up to the office. We know that employees are more productive and more efficient when they are working in an in-office environment, and that's what this administration expects, and I think that's what American taxpayers expect. Don't forget, it's the American people who are funding this government, and they deserve people who are actually showing up to work on their behalf.
Watching any clip of her is just witnessing one truth bomb after another, and it's not just the media feeling the heat. As she wrapped up her very first press briefing, she seized the moment to take a few well-placed jabs at Joe Biden, and let's just say it was a sight to behold.
Well, in terms of programming,
Sounds
should we
fun.
expect to see you here every day? How frequently will these press briefings be?
It is a good question, April. So look, the president, as you know, is incredibly accessible. First day here, he wanted all of you in the Oval Office. You got a 60-minute press conference with the leader of the free world while he was simultaneously signing executive orders. I may add that's pretty impressive. I don't think the previous office holder would be able to pull such a thing off. So look, the president is the best spokesperson that this White House has, and I can assure you that you will be hearing from both him and me as much as possible.
Shots fired. Honestly, it's been only a few days since Trump assumed office, and it already feels like decades. Craig Shirley, who worked as a consultant for Bush Sr., summed it up best by saying, quote, "Politics is motion and Donald Trump is a study in motion." But I'd love to know your thoughts here, so let's get the conversation rolling in the comments down below. And if you want your friends to be a part of our community who enjoy independent thinking and reporting, please share the video with them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.